नमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Dandavat pranams to all Matajis. Am I audible properly? Great. So, thank you to Sachi Mataji and Ramakrishna Prabhu for giving me this opportunity. I am not a professional baker or anything, but I just learned this bread making and all other baking skills I acquired through YouTube. So I used the technology a lot because I was working for almost 15 years when I was in Pune, and I never cooked actually. So cooking itself was a task, and I like to innovate things. So I took help of YouTube and started doing some different kinds of food stuff so that my workplace is interesting because I got a new workplace when I came to Abu Dhabi. So it's nice. So today I'll try to share whatever I learned, whatever mistakes I made, and uh, I just put it in a PPT format so that you all also can connect well that step by step that how this process goes. Um, this is I particularly made for bread. So we start with breads, and then we will go for more complicated processes. Like first is I'll tell you the science behind it. Then maybe next session we can do some folding methods, different types of bread, flavoring the breads that we can do next time. So today my main concentration will be on white bread, brown bread, and breads without yeast, without using yeast. So that is what I'll try to concentrate on. So you will get the recipes as soon as we finish the session, and also I'll post the PPT as soon as we finish this session. So as we had instructed, if you have any questions, please use the chat box. It's in front of me, and I will answer accordingly. We tried. Yes, yes, Mataji. Okay. First, foremost thing to all the devotees here, I would like to introduce Sulakshana Gopi Devi Dasi Mata. She is the temple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and she is one of our she is staying Abu Dhabi, very close to us, very near to us, and though she is very humble and saying that she is not a great baker at all, but indeed she is a great baker. And that's not a single Maharaj or Prabhu who does not visit her place. And there is a definite stop in a place to relish her beautiful baking items. So we have been very fortunate to have her here. And a request to all the mothers here. None of you will unmute. Of course, I'm going to mute you all from here. No disturbance. We'll concentrate what mother is saying. And I would suggest let us not have so many things coming up in the chat box because that will keep distracting. So once Mataji finishes her complete presentation, then we can take the questions. Am I okay, Mataji? Yes, Lakshana Mataji, is it fine for you? Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Yes. Okay. We start off? Yeah, we start. Okay. Louder. Okay, so we start with the first slide where I said that there are some prerequisites. So these prerequisites, generally what happens is when we are in our house setup, we generally forget them or it becomes a routine, mundane thing. So every day we are doing. So first, I have written that clean body. What does clean body means is you wash your hands. So nowadays everybody is washing every time, like every 20 minutes or something because of coronavirus. But apart from coronavirus, also this is the most important thing to do. Wash your hands and wash your mouth. Take a bath.
Please, I have seen some Matajis, they go in, they get up in the morning and then they just enter the kitchen. So that's not the standard what Prabhupada set up for us. You take bath, clean yourself, and then you enter the kitchen. Another thing is very important, which I feel we should all practice at home is we all have falling hair and we should always secure it with a cap. So generally we skip this step when we are in the house setup. Many times, in fact, many Matajis they ask me, Mataji, घर में भी क्यों cap चाहिए आपको? So, but I prefer doing that because I know I have a lot of hair fall and I don't like hair going here and there and flying away here and there. So these things I ensure anyways in normal cooking days also. We wear clean clothes, and yeah, that's the basic standard. You don't you every day you change your clothes. Please wash clothes every day and keep on changing. Then you should have clean mind. So that is, you should be absorbed in Lord Krishna. So this quality I got from my Pune Siksha Guru, His Grace Shudnitai Prabhuji. He was handling the Pune Radha Kunj Bihari kitchen, and he was our counselor also. So the very first seva which I did in ISKCON was cutting maybe hundreds of tons of paneer, and we are cutting so many vegetables, and we are you doing so many things actually in the kitchen. And for a Sunday feast program, in that time there was only one temple in Pune, so around 12 years ago. So this is how I got introduced to cooking. So what we used to do is all Matajis will sit together and gossip. Like they will try to find out fault with other Vaishnavas, and so many other Prajalpa used to happen. So I discussed this with my counselor, and I was a working lady, so I was very focused that I am going for 1 hour seva, so I don't want anything else and just want to concentrate on my seva. So what I used to do is I used to carry my own headset and put the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I was new, I did not know any other kirtans and all these things. So I used to put the headset with Hare Krishna Mahamantra or a simple earphone and just keep on cutting vegetables. So the same thing I recommend at house also. Please do that. I am very fond of some lecturers. So I just generally put lecture on Krishna or Hari Katha. Mostly I listen to Bhagavatam during cooking. And kitchen is very important. We need to, last thing is clean kitchen. Now my mother, I saw, she used to literally wash kitchen. So washing the kitchen in the night, and it is a standard which we follow in the temple also. So we wash the kitchen in the night. We literally wash it 3 times a day. All kitchens across ISKCON are washed. At least across Pune, I have seen we wash 3 times. First the breakfast time, then the lunch time, and then the evening time. Again, the kitchens are washed. So maybe we were not able to follow that much of standard, but at least keeping our countertop dust free, keeping our floor dust free, and keeping our tools clean is very important. So and for baking, especially for bread baking, you need to work on the countertops, your ota. So this has to be super clean. That doesn't mean that we clean it with a Dettol or something like that, because we don't want any chemical to go inside the bread. So what you can do is just take lukewarm water with baking soda, and you just wipe your floor, the kitchen top floor, with that, and that helps in the baking process also, and it cleans it very nicely, like makes it germ free. So that's simple things that you can do. Even all the tools, you can please soak everything after baking, soak everything in warm water, and then make them air dry and use them. So every time you do this, please follow, because all the scrapers and knives that you will be using for baking, these are, I prefer steel. So I use steel. Plastics are less preferable. So whatever measuring spoons, measuring cups, whatever you are using, please make sure you air dry them. I generally put it on in sunlight, and that's how I dry them after baking. So moving to the next slide. So you need to know what tools you must have. These are must have for baking. So there can be more complicated tools, but when I was in my kitchen, I mean, I used whatever was available to me. I only had to grab some very much necessary tools. So I have only listed very much necessary tools here. You need measuring cups and measuring spoons. Now, measuring cups are of two types. You get the UK one and you get the US one. If it is the UK one cup measurement will be 240 ml. You can note down, one cup will be 240 or 200, sometimes it is 220 ml. Hmm? So that is UK measurement. When we talk about US measurement, one cup will be 200 ml. So one cup will be 200 ml. So whenever somebody is telling a recipe in cups measurement, you can easily convert into ml measurement. And then measuring cups, and then you have measuring spoons. I have given a photo of that. On the extreme right side you can see on the screen that there are measuring spoons and measuring cups. Generally both on the cups also it will be written how much ml and how much 1/4 cup, 3/4 cup, it will be written there. So you need not worry, this is easily available in home box or home center and for a very reasonable charge. I think or some offer is also going on, 5 dirham, 3 dirham, like that you are getting in very reasonable price, the plastic ones. Then you must have a digital weighing scale. You don't need this for bread baking at least, but you will need this for cakes. Whenever you will, when you want to make a cake, I don't go with cup measurements. I generally go with digital scale, the grams and the ml. They are perfect when you are doing on the kitchen scale. So you need a digital kitchen scale, not the mechanical one, because digital will give you chance to shift to kilograms, grams, ml, like that. So it will give you a lot of options. And sometimes if you need to do a big baking, like last time I think when Jayapataka Swami Maharaj was here, we did a very huge cake for him in the form of a lotus. So I think 21 Matajis baked the cake, and each Mataji baked around 5 kgs of cake. So literally, we baked around, like I myself, I think I baked around 5 large pieces of the cake, because mine one was the center one. So it was very difficult to do that. So it's always better to have a digital kitchen weighing scale. Then you need a dough scraper. Now, dough scraper photo is given. It is a steel thing with a handle. Now you need this for bread baking, because bread, when you are baking, the flour will become very sticky. It will stick to your hands, and again you need to scrape it off from your hands and from your kitchen top or whatever vessel you are using. So if you try to do it in a bowl, then you cannot knead it well. So that's why you need a dough scraper. Then rolling pin, you need the normal rolling pin with which we make rotis, and that is only for shaping. When you are doing more complicated breads and you want to shape them fish type or flower type or maybe some other shapes you want to braid it or something, then you need a rolling pin. Thermometer, oven thermometer. If you don't know your oven well, if you have never used the oven, if you don't know it well, or you are planning to use the oven, you don't have a oven and you are planning to use, I will show you how to make a home oven. So when you are doing that and you want the exact temperature, now for bread it may not be necessary, bread baking is very easy, but for cake baking you need to know the temperature. So when you do that, you will need a thermometer. So, but if you know your oven very well, if some people have electric oven, then there is no problem. The clear indication of temperature digitally is represented. Like I don't use electrical oven; I have a gas oven. So for me, this was a required tool. But now that with experience, I made so many times I made mistakes that now I have come to know my oven, that how it operates and how I can bake perfect. So you need a thermometer only if you don't know your oven well. So it's optional. You need a deep mixing bowl, a glass type which I have shown in the photo. So that's very easy to find. A loaf pan. Besides the bowl, there is a photo of a loaf pan, because the bread, if you want the professional bread, you need this type of a rectangle shaped pan. Now these pans are of different sizes. There is no standard size. You easily get in home center and all. If you get the aluminum ones, they are very nice. They give the baking effect in the aluminum ones is very nice. In this non-stick ones, they are not the bread will not come very nice. You know, the baking, the color of the bread, the brown thing will not come very easily. So I prefer the aluminum type of baking molds. So these are very nice and very oven friendly. And then the most important tool you need, which I couldn't take a photo of it, maybe Balyak Prabhu can help me to get a knife here. Can I get a knife to show the photo? Yeah. So this knife is called a serrated bread knife. Now, after the bread is done, and you are thinking that I will cut it with a normal knife, we have done this mistakes 2 times, and we have miserably failed. So you need a bread knife, and this is a very important tool. Yeah. So this is a bread knife, and you have serrated. You see, some serrations are here. So this will cut your bread perfectly. So it's a very normal tool. I think Think Kitchen knives are very good. They are just 20 dirham and they are very nice. And even very nice if you are making some different kinds of breads also for shaping and all. It gives very nice shapes also. Okay, so these are the must-have tools. Apart from this, there are many tools you can have. So I have not mentioned them, but when you become an advanced baker, then maybe you can have another very nice fancy tools. But my kitchen is only having these tools. Okay. So then now we come to ingredients. What ingredients you need? Now, if you are baking a white bread, you need maida, that is a white flour. If you are making a brown bread, you need multigrain flour. I prefer multigrain flour. You can also use wheat flour. And if you want to add oats, you need oats. If you want to add some raisins, you keep raisins, a handful of raisins. And if you want to add nuts, you keep that nuts handy. So whatever you want to add in the bread, you can add easily in the bread. The only thing is you need to collect all the ingredients before you plan for it. So yeah, what I do is for white bread, I used albakar atta, the normal albakar atta, white atta that you get. I think that gives the best result. For multigrain flour, I was using Pillsbury, but I think all other brands are also good, equally good, no problem. Okay, then you will need sugar, salt. These are very common ingredients. You will need milk powder. Now, if you don't have milk powder, this is an optional kind of thing. You can knead the dough with milk itself. So if you don't have milk powder, then just use milk to make the dough. And you need butter and water. Now butter, all these ingredients have to be at room temperature. When I say butter, butter has to be at room temperature. You cannot take the butter, melt it in the oven and then use it. This will not give you that effect. So this butter has to be kept outside and then used. Whenever I am referring to butter, it has to be kept outside, room temperature. Hmm? And milk also room temperature. So yeah. Anyways, we will warm up the milk for proofing the yeast that I will discuss later. You may need some seeds. Mine is sesame seeds are favorite. So whenever I do a bread, I just sprinkle the sesame seeds. Some people like sunflower seeds and flex seeds, chia seeds. You get so many seeds nowadays. So please feel free to garnish your bread the way you want. So these are all optional things. You can decide. Okay, now comes the most important ingredient, yeast. Yeast, I have already given the photo. So you get pouches and you get the full bottle. So these pouches are the best because they are closed, they are sealed, and it does not have it will, once you use it, you just throw it. The remaining you throw it. And why I throw it? Because generally it carries lot of moisture. Lot of moisture will come in the yeast if you just keep it like that. I have tried sealing it also with very good clips and all, but still it does not give me the same effect. So maybe when I use each sachet is only 10 grams, and we generally need 6 to 8 grams of yeast. So rest I just throw it away. So I just don't reuse it. What happens with the packet is the the full whole, the container that you take, you use the spoon to take out the yeast. Now if little bit of moisture will go inside, the yeast will not be effective enough. The effect dies, and then your bread will not proof, it will not come up, and then we will think that what's gone wrong here. So this is the difference, and there are two types of yeast that you get. One will be written that it is active yeast, and one is written instant yeast. Hmm? So when it is the active yeast, that means you can directly add it to the dough, डायरेक्टली मैदा में डाल देना है, ठीक है. यू नो नीड टू एक्टिवेट इट इज ऑलरेडी एक्टिव yeast. Now the instant is yeast is little different, and it is my favorite, and I use it. It's very good for baking because it doesn't give the smell of yeast actually. So you this comes in a sachet. So instant is yeast is you will have to activate it. So I will show you the method of activating the yeast in the next slide. So it is the first step of any bread baking process, activating the yeast. Now you just need to take some warm water, and if you are not using milk powder, you don't have milk powder, then you just warm up the milk. I like soft breads. I don't like the hard breads. So I generally do this process in milk. It is equally effective. Doesn't matter you warm little water or you warm up little milk. Okay, so we just take some warm water and we add sugar. Now all I will send the recipes and you just follow the recipe. How much milk, how much water and sugar. Okay. Now sugar, understand, is the food for yeast. It is a science. It is food. Yeast has to eat up the sugar. If you don't put enough sugar, the what will yeast eat? And then your entire solution will not become frothy. And then you will think that what has gone wrong. So whatever amount of sugar is recommended, please add in the water or milk so that the yeast can activate really fast. And then you add the yeast, whatever amount is said in the recipe, stir it and keep it at a warm place. Hmm? Warm place doesn't mean that we switch on the microwave, heat it and put it inside. No, this will kill the yeast. Don't do that. Just keep it in a warm place, maybe some cupboard. Because you just need to keep it for 10 minutes. It's not a big time, long time. So just keep it for 10 minutes. So this is how your yeast will get active. It will get frothy. Hmm? And then once this process is done, now the entire thing is very easy. You have to knead the flour now. So you take your maida, recommended amount of maida, and you add it, the yeast mixture also you add in that, and then you add the salt. Now understand, yeast and salt are not good friends. Hmm? They don't like to be with each other. So what you can do is, what I do is, maida ke saath hi I mix the salt and I give it a good stir. So when you do that, then you add yeast, then there is no problem. But on top of yeast solution, if you will add salt, then the yeast will not like it. It will misunderstand, it will eat salt and then it may die. So we need to ensure that we don't add this together. They are not good friends. Okay, so now kneading is the most important part. If you see in the presentation, I have shared a link also there that you have to knead. Use your this portion. This portion of the hand has to be used for kneading. So every time you are kneading the flour like this, dough like this. Okay, first you have mix all the ingredients, and once it is all coming together, just put it on the countertop, your kitchen ota, and just knead it by the hand. You will need some space because your small bowl cannot do this. You need a big space to do this. And then you may need to use the dough scraper that I told you, because it will be very sticky initially. Now what is happening in the kneading process? This kneading process has to go on for 10 to 12 minutes. If you are a new baker baking it for the first time, please put a timer that you are actually doing it for 10 minutes or not. So I have done many mistakes with kneading. What happens in the kneading is there is gluten in white flour. Now this gluten, it is forming a mesh when we are kneading it, because of the heat which is produced by our hands. It is forming a mesh. And what is yeast doing? It is producing carbon dioxide. Now this mesh is doing nothing but capturing this carbon dioxide. It has to take this carbon dioxide, and that is why it will come up. Hmm? So it will become a big, like if you put like a handful of it, it will become double in size, like that. It will proof up. So this is what is very important. If you don't do enough kneading, then gluten will not form a mesh, and then your what will either your bread will deflate, or it may not even inflate, like it was of the remains of the same size. Okay, so this process, kneading process, is very important. At least you do this for 10 to 12 minutes, and this is very easy process. And what after kneading the flour, generally I add butter after kneading the flour. After the dough is made, 10-12 minutes, last 2 minutes, after 10 minutes, last 2 minutes, you can incorporate butter also in this. So as per the recipe, sometimes there is butter, sometimes there is vegetable oil. So when I do the multigrain bread, I use vegetable oil. When I do the white bread, I use butter, because white bread generally everybody likes very soft and all. So I use butter. Okay, so these are two important process. We said that yeast will come up, and then once the yeast has come up, we mixed it in the flour and did the kneading for 10 to 12 minutes. Now, after this process is over, we need to um, coat this entire dough with oil, and also the container in which we are going to put with oil. Now this container is a deep container you have to take, because it is going to get double in size. So it has to have a height. It will become double in size. So maybe dough is like this, it will come up like this. So you plan a deep container and coat it very nicely. First grease your hands with oil and roll the dough in the hand, and then place it in the bowl which is also well greased. Once you do this, you cover it with a lid. If you don't have lid, you can use a cloth. So use a damp cloth so that it doesn't become dry. Okay. If you don't have that, also you just use a cling wrap. Hmm? If you're using a cling wrap, then you also oil the cling wrap little bit, because we don't want the dough to stick to the cling wrap once it comes up. So try to take as much deep bowl as you can take, so that it doesn't come up to that level. So this is called a proofing step. Now this is very important step. If you don't allow the bread to proof and the yeast to do its work, your bread will not become soft enough. It will be very dense. Hmm? Or and you will not be able to shape also. Okay, this step has to be done only until the dough becomes double in size. Now during the summers, this will happen in 40-45 minutes, and during winters this will take you 1.5 hour, the same thing, 1 hour to 1.5 hour, because of the temperature difference. Because now if I was doing the frothing the yeast also, it happens only in 5 minutes because of the warm temperature. Hmm? So the same thing happens with the bread proofing. So summers it is less time, so you just keep a watch at it after every 40-45 minutes. Mostly in summers it should double. Right now if you are going to try, it will double in 40-45 minutes. Okay. Once it is doubling, it has you can see that it has come up very nicely. Now again, you need to dust your hands with the flour, and now you want to punch it. You have to punch it. ना it happens like ना कि हम ISKCON में आते हैं, and our we learn so many things, and ये सीख लिया वो सीख लिया, we get very puffed up, and then we meet our Shiksha Guru and he punches us. Okay, so this is one way to understand. Other way to understand, whenever I am punching this, I understand that my so many anarthas are there inside me and I am punching them out. So you can feel something like this, and you punch your flour, this dough, very hard. Okay, and punch it, and all air we have to remove now. It has to come again to the normal size. Okay, why we are doing this step is we don't want any extra carbon dioxide in our bread now. Okay, so because yeast is so strong, this thing, actually that is why Prabhupada also used to say don't use yeast. It's too much tamasic in nature. It will again release carbon dioxide. So that's the reason we want to this is called extra carbon dioxide. We want to remove this carbon dioxide from our bread. And with the frothy bread, you cannot actually shape it also. So that is also another reason. So you punch it down and you knead it for 3-4 minutes until it again comes to a normal shape. Now there are two ways of shaping this bread. Either you use a rolling pin and roll out a big roti and then you fold it hmm, in a log, एक round log बना दो. So that's one way. And other way is you don't roll it out, you just keep on kneading and convert it into a log shape. And you see this lady in the process I have shown in the slide, she has just kneaded with the hand and she just folded it like in a form of a log. Now what happens with the rolling pin process? The rolling pin process, you may have a lot of air bubbles because when we are rolling it, yeast is is activated, so it keeps on giving you a lot of bubbles. So when in the next class when we'll do the shaping, you will see that too many bubbles they come up, and every time you have to break those bubbles. So best way is I feel is you just keep the log as it is, keep on kneading, and just with the hands you give the shape of a log of wood. It's a small log of wood. This shape you have to bring. So this shouldn't take much time, around 3 to 4 minutes, and your bread will be shaped. Now this is normal um, rectangular bread we are talking about. So there are many different shaping methods. I will try to help you out with the videos which I used mostly from YouTube, that how different breads can be shaped in different ways. And if possible, I will try to demonstrate also in the next class. Maybe 2-3 shapes I can demonstrate to you, which are very common. Uh, so this is now we are again going to put it for proofing. Hmm? So now we have to place this log on in the container. Now this should not occupy more than 40% of your container. If it is occupying more than 40% of your container, it will really come up. First it will proof, and then in baking also it comes up. So 3 times it will go up. So we have to understand that we have to keep it, the container should be only 40%. If you want a perfect rectangular shape of the bread, then you cover the container with a lid. So it will give you a perfect rectangle shape, a perfect square shape when you will cut. But I generally don't do it. I don't have a lid, so I generally do it with a cling wrap. And when I bake, still the bread comes up. So it's like little different shape. But see, it is here also. If you see on the slide, there are two baked version. If you see down, so they have like the upper portion is little curvy. So that's what happens when you don't put the lid on it while proofing. So you put this bread for proofing and it will come up, and then when you put this, you have to wait for another 1 hour. That means double the size. As I said, in summers again, maybe it may be only 45-50 minutes you are waiting. Once this is proofed well, now what you need to do is before putting it in the oven, you need to milk this. Oh, sorry, I don't know. I missed the milking slide. Yeah. You need to apply little milk or oil on the bread just before putting it for baking. I have missed that. I missed to write the step here, it seems. So you use a brush and with very light hands, because the moment you give lot of pressure, all the air will come out. You don't want now at this step or the air to come out. So with very light hands, light use a plastic brush and just grease your top portion of the bread. Once you do that, that will give actually the brown color to the bread. The top brown color comes because of that. And then you keep it for baking. Okay. So baking, I already told you, there are many different types of oven. So there is one electric oven, which is very easy. I need not explain, but you generally bake at 200 degrees C, and you preheat for 10 minutes, and then you also bake at the same temperature generally. So then there is gas oven. My gas oven is, I generally do preheating at 180 degrees C, and then initial first 5 minutes I keep at 220 and then reduce again to 180. So this is how I follow for bread and for cake also. So electric oven and gas oven are easy. Now homemade oven. So if you don't have a oven, what you do? So when your second proofing is going on, what you should do is you take a cooker, mostly a 5 liter cooker, or if you don't have a cooker, take a big kadhai. We all Iskonites have big vessels with us. Okay, so take a big vessel, big enough to accommodate your loaf pan. Hmm? So that has to fit in that vessel. Now in the bottom of the vessel you put salt. Hmm? Any salt, any normal salt. If your vessel is very big, it may occupy around 2 kg salt, and if your vessel is small, it will occupy only 1 kg of salt. So one packet basically you need to reserve for this, and this can be reused. So no need to throw it away. So again, you can reuse in the next baking process. So you take this cooker, you put some salt in it, you put it on heat, and then on the top of the salt, you use a ring cutter or some base to increase the height, because we cannot directly put our loaf pan on the salt. So you need to use some bowl or something, just put it ulta and just put your loaf pan over it. Like that it will work. So you put some wire mesh, wire stand, whatever it is, on it, close the lid, and do not put the whistle, or just close the kadai. Okay, if you are using a kadai, you just close the kadai. And if you are using a cooker, do not put the whistle over it. And heat this. Now we will heat this for 10 to 15 minutes on a gas. So when we came to Abu Dhabi, we didn't have this oven. So I was also making cakes in cooker. So it comes out equally well. It is really, in fact, it is more delicious, I feel. So cooker baking is also very nice. You just make your cooker and oven. And now your oven is ready. The conventional oven, the homemade oven is ready. If you want, here you may need a thermometer. If you don't know that what is the temperature and how to bake for bread, it is not much necessary. This is only by experience I am telling that. Anyways, after 15 minutes it will reach up to that temperature. I have a aluminum cooker, 5 liters. That's what I have been using before. So it generally preheats in 10-15 minutes. I achieve the temperature. So we are all Mataji, so we know how, when we can feel the heat and we know what's the temperature generally. So I just use my senses like this to know the temperature. But it's better to get an oven thermometer. That's the best thing. So once you do this, you put your loaf pan after second proofing. When the uh, loaf has doubled in size, you put it in the oven. And just before putting in the oven, again you milk it. So you again take some milk and you brush it very nicely. If you don't have milk, use oil. That's also fine. And put it in the oven and let it bake. Generally, it should take, if it is a big loaf pan like me, it generally takes 30 to 40 minutes of baking, which is a long time because gas ovens are little less effective and electric ovens are very nice. Cooker also will take little more time for baking. So it depends how it is going. So now this once the bread has been baked, we will check and you will take it out. Okay, how will you know the bread is baked? When the top surface will become brown, you will come to know that my bread is already baked. So now the top surface, okay, how do I show this? Okay, the top surface will be something like this. Are you able to see? Yeah. So top surface will be like this, and then you know that my bread is baked, and you take it out. Once you take it out, now don't get tempted to take it out immediately from the mold. Bread is not like cake that you just immediately take out from the mold. You wait. Now there is a cool down process. What you do is use a damp cloth and cover your entire loaf pan with it. Now what will happen, what this step will do is, first of all it will cool down and it will also retain the moisture in the bread. So bread will become really soft and spongy. And the same process we will do when we will do the cake baking also. We follow the same process. When we take out the cake from the oven, to retain moisture, we cover it with a damp cloth. Okay, before that you need to apply butter to the bread. Before covering it with the cloth, apply little butter. बाहर से bread लाते हैं तो it is very shiny on the top. So this shine is coming because they applied butter to the bread after it is fully baked, and then you cover it with a damp cloth. Now there is no hurry, just keep it like that for 2 hours. Okay, 1 hour, 2 hour. Then the quality will be very nice actually. If you take it out very in hurry burry and all, then it may not be that soft. So you can decide what you want to do. So this is the way I like. So I take a lot of time to the day you have a lot of time to bake, you can bake a bread. So it's but it and whenever you are baking, I suggest you bake in big quantity so that it goes on for 2 3 days at least. Yeah. Okay. So this is how the bread will be baked, and then my this is my last slide where I say what are the problems. Okay. Just before that, I wanted to cover that now this process entirely we saw with the yeast. Now, without yeast, if somebody doesn't want, or some people don't want to use yeast, then what we can do? So I will put a recipe also. I have not typed it out because I was trying myself. Today I actually tried. I had heard so many times, but I never tried it. But today I tried. So these ones that you are seeing are without yeast. So I baked it just before the class, and they are meshy enough. So they are very good. They are meshy and a little dense, of course, not like the east ones, but it's good. It is sattvic at least. Yeah. So this is what I like. So if you want to do with without the yeast, your main ingredient is eno. You will need eno. Okay. So why I use eno is because when we use the baking soda, you get the taste of soda. Even in the cakes, when you use the soda, you get that taste of soda. Eno is a fruit salt which doesn't give you that soda taste, and it comes out really good. So I will post the recipe. That is very easy recipe to follow. You just need to mix in all the ingredients, and there is no much complication like yeast. So it is very easy recipe to follow. You just mix all the ingredients and your bread will be ready. But the kneading process remains the same. There is no proofing, no two times waiting, proofing. This is like a instant bread. Okay, when you're making with soda, it's like a instant bread. And that is why it doesn't have that wire mesh and things like that. So you don't wait for proofing time is only 10 minutes and then it straight goes in the oven, and it also bakes very fast. It took me only today 15 to 20 minutes for the entire process to complete. The baking took only 15-20 minutes to complete. So I think we have also video shooted the entire thing. So maybe we will post it on our YouTube channel also. So I will post the link on the group once the video is ready to post. Okay, so let's come to the problem slide. And why I have put this slide is we all should know that what are the problems, because working in corporates we always want to know what is the root cause, why this thing happened. So if we know the problems, we know that which process we need to follow diligently and do it nicely. So the first problem is you have a poor texture or very poor color and low volume, and it is too much heavy. The bread is too much heavy. So what can be the causes of it? I have written, it's mentioned that the flour that you have used, the maida that you have used is not of good quality. Sometimes we are just buying maida from anywhere. That is why I specified that you bring the Al Bakar one, because that is trialed and tested. So it gives a very good quality. Do not use any inferior kind of flour. Oven temperature is too low. You did not set your oven temperature high enough. So 200 220 is a good temperature to bake a bread. Hmm? Over rising, you proved it too much. I just said double the volume, but you waited for too much long time. Okay, so that also can be the reason. And milk, you didn't do the milking process. Then also the color will not come, because milk is very important process here. Then coarse texture or dry crumbs. It is the bread is very dry. So again, while kneading or while on the countertop, some people will use too much of flour. So if you use too much of flour, the bread will become dry. It will lose the moisture. And if you even don't knead it properly, the gluten will not release. So this is also, it will become very dry. Again, over rising and you milking is not done properly. Here, one more reason is not mentioned. It becomes dry also when you don't use butter, butter or vegetable oil. If you don't incorporate in the bread at the last stage, then also the bread looks very dry. It will sometimes when we are buying even from outside, the bread is just falling apart, and then we say, no, this is a stale bread. It is not a fresh bread. So sometimes even the date is okay. So the problem with the process is they didn't use the sufficient amount of butter to make that bread. Okay, bread won't rise. Now, bread, if it doesn't proof, then that means you understand the yeast is not good. Yeast is moisture laden. It will not work. This you will. That is why I was saying that use instant yeast so that when it will froth up, you will know that your yeast is working. So in the very first step, you know whether your yeast is good or it is not good. So you can decide that step itself. Hmm? And yes, it says dissolving yeast in water that is too hot. Hot temperature will kill the yeast at the very first stage. So lukewarm water is what is required for the yeast, not very hot, or also not very cold. That also won't work for the yeast. Okay, streaks through loaf. If you see that the loaf is breaking, like okay, I don't have any loaf with streaks actually. So streaks with if you find there is streaks and it is like cracks, through the entire loaf. So it is not mixed properly. Under mixing, you have not mixed the flour properly. You have not kneaded it properly, and it is too much flour. You have again used too much flour while kneading, and yeah, yeah, the milking has not been done properly, so it is cracking. If the moisture goes out, it will crack. You cover it with a damp cloth, and this all problems will not happen itself. Okay, uneven shape. Now this is very important. Um you are, I said, loaf pan should be only occupied by 40%. If you put too much, then your bread will come out, and it will come out unevenly. It is just rising unevenly. So in middle it will be like a thick one, then sides may it is thin one, and that shape will not be maintained. So always make sure, in case if the the flour that you have needed is more than the quantity, than the size of your loaf pan, don't worry, just take another this thing and put some mini burns or something like this. So this flour this dough is never wasted actually. You can make so many things out of it. You don't need to worry that what I will do with the extra dough. So you can use another container and just use make something else out of it. Okay, flat loaf that brown too quickly. Okay, so the water was too hot, the yeast is killed. That is why your bread has been flattened. It is not rising, and it became brown very fast. So you have not given enough proofing time also. It indicates that. Okay, porous bread with pale crumbling crust. That also indicates too much flour is used. Dusting flour is too much. Don't dust too much flour, and the dough has to be soft, really soft. Hmm? And if you put a puri wala dough, no, we don't have to make puris. We have to make a soft bread. So it has to be softer than the roti dough. Okay, very soft dough I'm talking about. So when I share the video, you will get an idea of it. Okay, thick crust is again thick crust is mostly related to oven temperature. What people do is, like mine is a gas oven. So if I start the upper coil also, even in the OTG, the upper coil and lower coil, if the temperature of the upper coil is very high, then you will get a very thick crust. So you need to be very careful about the oven temperature. Okay. Cracks in the sides and the top of the crust. That is, you have again, it was a very stiff dough and not milked properly. Under kneading, it can be uneven heating, too rapid cooling, anything. So you cannot go for rapid cooling also. Like immediately you will cool, keeping on ice or a tray or something like that. So once one Mataji had put everything on ice. I want to serve, so I want to cool. So she just put it like that. But that the bread doesn't come out nice then. The entire moisture is gone, and the cracks will develop. Okay, tough crust. So it is again inferior kind of flour. Too much handling. You had handling the dough. I said only 10 to 12 minutes. We are handling it to 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Oh, I want to make bread more soft. It will not happen. it will become very tough crust. Pale crust. Pale crust is too little sugar. The quantity of sugar is very important here, and too much of salt. The salt has increased, sugar has decreased. What happens? Yeast and salt are not good friends. Okay, yeast will die. You will not get a good color also, and it will be very pale, pale in color. And bulging is a part of under kneading. That means you have not removed, or first proofing, you have not removed all the carbon dioxide. It has just bulged. Keep on bulging. Like mother-in-law was complaining once when she used a good yeast. She was saying, this is coming up, Suhani, what should I do? I said, oh, you punch it down. That is why I said, punch it down. Punch out all your anarthas there, and it will be perfect bread baking. Okay, so yeah, and remove all the gas bubbles. So I think that's all problems that you face with the bread. And yeah, finally, what you do is once the bread is baked, you offer it to Krishna as prasadam and take the remnants. So this was a small presentation. I have taken very good 50 minutes, I think, to complete this. So now we can open for question and answers.
Hare Krishna Mata.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
It
Pranam.
was very nicely presented. And yes, we'll take the questions now.
Yeah.
So I will, they can raise their hand or they can put the questions in the chat. That would be the better thing. We can start putting the questions in chat and we can take the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, there is one question from Samira Mataji. Without yeast, we can't do. I think Mataji has already explained that question. We can do.
We can do without yeast, and I will post the recipe also after the session, and then you will get to know how to do it.
The next question is from Divya Purni Mataji. She says, is the process same for pizza dough as bread?
Yes, Mataji, the process remains the same for pizza dough. Only thing is that pizza you don't do the first proofing. What you do is once you make the dough, you immediately roll it out first. You roll it out in a shape, in a inches size, whatever inch size you want. You roll it out, and you use your fork to make the holes in that, so that the air bubbles don't come in. Then you keep for proofing for half an hour to 45 minutes, and then you put it in for baking. So pizza dough is only one proofing. You don't need double proofing for pizza dough. Hopefully it is clear.
Mataji, I have a question. Okay, there is one question. Let me. There is from Divya Rupa Subhadra Devi. That's Mataji. She is asking, can you please give some good brands for multigrain flour and wheat flour?
Okay, what I am using currently is Pillsbury, and sometimes I bring from Adil the fresh multigrain flour, which they grind fresh. What you can do at home is when you get the multigrain flour, you have oats that you get easily. That oats you just put it in the mixie, grind them, so that becomes a flour. Then you have different kinds, like different millets you get, the foxtail millet and the samo. I don't know the name of samo in this thing. So these are some dry millets that you get. So this all you can just mix one tablespoon or something, and you just put it in a mixer. Whatever you want to eat healthy, you just put it. Only problem with multigrain bread is it will be dense. Dense means it will not be light. One bread you will feel like I am done, like that, because it is very dense. Especially the oats one becomes dense.
Okay. Okay. Mataji, there is one question. I don't know the name because it says iPhone. Can we do with cake millets powder?
Can we do with cake millets powder? I don't get the question, Mataji. So can we do the cake with millets
Yes.
powder is what is the question?
That's what she says. Can we do with cake millets powder?
Okay.
Let her write down. Let her write down. Not a problem. Questions, please put in the chat, please. Let the questions be on chat.
Yeah.
So Mataji, I have a question here.
Yes, Mataji.
Can we keep yeast in the fridge, Mataji?
Pardon?
The packets. Can we keep the yeast packet in the fridge?
No, Mataji. It has to be kept out. in a dry atmosphere. Never store it in the fridge. It will collect moisture from the fridge. We don't want any moisture in yeast. Otherwise, it will not froth up.
Okay. Yeast cannot be kept in the fridge.
No, it has to be kept in dry, cold environment. Normal. I just store it in a normal room temperature.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And Mataji, my oven has a electric bar on top as well as below. So in this case, it's basically a gas oven, but I have the heater on both top and bottom. So how do I do it?
So Mataji, not for preheating, you start both the coils. But when you put your bread inside, you switch off the top coil
Okay.
because if you
Because
yeah
it
if
becomes soft, crispy, it becomes,
yeah
but then it is not cooked inside.
yes
Okay.
yes. So the bottom coil is generally the baking coil. The top coil you use when you do the pizzas. So when you will do the pizza, after maybe when the pizza is baked, when you put it the second time with all the toppings, then you start the top coil for the cheese to melt.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Mataji, there is a question from Haripriya Mataji. She's asking, can you please explain more on gas oven and how it works?
Gas oven, like my gas oven, I don't remember the brand actually, but it has two knobs, actually three knobs. So one is for the top coil, one is for the bottom coil, and one is for the light and the fan. Hmm. So a top coil has only a temperature indication which says minimum and maximum. That is for the top coil. For bottom coil, there are 1 to 8 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. And now I have to go back to the manual to check that what does the 1 number mean, 2 number mean, 3 number mean. So what I found out from my manual is that 8 number means 220 degrees C. So this you will find out from the gas oven manual that what the numbers indicate if you have numbers on it. I have seen gas ovens which have digital display and digital timer also. So if that is there, then it's very good. Otherwise, I would recommend that you just use a oven thermometer if you are not sure how to go about it. So that's how we end. Yeah, one more important thing in gas oven is gas oven which has the light and the fan option. That's very good because for baking you want even temperature in your oven. So when it has a fan option, what happens when you switch off your top coil, the fan option will automatically start and it will ensure the bread or the cake is baked from all directions properly because the temperature is maintained because of the fan inside the oven. So yeah, I think that's all I know about gas oven. Yeah.
And can you please repeat, Mataji, the fan part? It comes automatically, right? The fan starts
Yeah.
automatically.
Yes, Mataji, the fan will start automatically. As soon as you switch off the top coil, the fan will automatically start. And what happens because the fan has started now, when the top coil and the bottom coil were there, your temperature may be 220 degrees. Hmm? You have preheated, but when you are switching off the top coil, some heat is already gone now. That heat is not now, that source is not there, but the temperature has to be maintained. At least a temperature of 180 degree is to be minimum temperature has to be maintained for bread baking. So that temperature is maintained with the help of fan. It will just ensure that air is circulating and the even temperature is maintained all over the oven. So temperature will drop around, if it is at 220, it will drop around 20 degrees. So we'll come to 200 degrees.
Okay. There is a question from our Dayalakshmi Mataji. She's asking, can we use normal atta which we use for making chapati for making bread? That means, can the same bread be used? That is what she's asking.
Yes, Mataji, you can use.
That the same atta which we use for chapati,
Yeah.
can we use the same atta for bread also? That is the question.
Yeah, the same atta can be used, so it will become a brown bread. It will not become a white bread. So if you are using the same atta, the roti atta, if you are using the wheat flour, it will become little dense. You see, like this, it will become little dense. So that's the only thing. But it's good. It's very healthy actually. I would recommend you all use wheat flour. But if kids like, then they can use, sometimes you can use the white flour, but maida is not good for health, we all know. One more thing you can do is, which I didn't discuss, is you can use, there is something called gluten powder that you get in the market. I have never bought it, but I have seen that some bakers do have this gluten activator, they call it, and you get it in the supermarkets. One more easy thing you can do with the wheat flour is you add one boiled potato. Potato has lot of gluten in it. So it will do the work of gluten, and your bread will become little less dense, so little more palatable, you can say.
Okay. Machi, there is a question from Priyanka Mataji is asking. Okay, I think Priyanka Machi, pizza base we are going to do separately, Mataji. Today is bread. So questions related to bread only will be taken today. Okay, there is a question from Natimuki Mataji. She's asking, what if the oven is such that both coils cannot be kept on simultaneously?
Okay, so the best thing you do that, if both coils cannot work simultaneously, is you keep it for more time for preheating. The preheating should be done for more time. So instead of 10 minutes, you preheat for 20 minutes so that you reach the desired temperature. So what will happen is, what I did is I made many mistakes with my oven. By the time you are third, fourth time baking, you will come to know how is your oven behaving. So because it's a period that nobody is going out, and oven thermometer also I checked online. In fact, getting pictures of oven thermometer was also getting difficult for me. So it's not available online as of now. Now I already checked. So what you do is you keep it for longer time so that you can achieve that preheating time. Also, sometimes we cannot switch off the upper coil. The upper coil cannot be switched off. In that case, what you do is you keep on changing the direction of your bread, the loaf pan. Hmm? So in middle of the baking, you just turn it around. So if your bread stand is like this, you just turn it around. Okay, so it will ensure that it is not getting burnt from at one side. Otherwise, the top will become fully brown, blackish brownish, and the bottom part will not become brown. So you just need to flip it left and right in between the baking.
There is one question from Sridevi Mataji. Sridevi Sriti, she's asking, which brand milk powder is good?
Okay, Mataji, to be very frank, I never used a milk powder. I was always kneading with milk. I never grabbed milk powder. But I think many brands are available. You can check for full fat. What you want for a good bread is you want a full fat milk powder. So you can check. You get full fat milk powders. You get low fat milk powders. Whatever is your diet requirement, you can just go for it.
Okay. But you recommend using milk directly.
Yes, Mataji, that's very easily available. So I recommend that use direct milk that you are getting. Very handy actually.
Okay.
Also, we are not baking very often. So what we do with the milk powder, it will generally expire. So that was also one of my problem. I didn't want to get milk powder in my house. So I am generally using milk only.
Okay. Question from Rajavilasini Mataji. She's asking, I have electric toaster oven. Is it okay for baking?
Electric toaster oven. Mataji, I have not seen your oven. What you can do is you can personally click a photo and send me, and maybe I
Okay,
can
I
guide
think
you.
she's talking about the OTG. What I
OTG.
will do after I take the questions, I'm going to unmute everyone. But I thought let me first finish the questions. Then I'll unmute. Otherwise, it become a chaos. So, Brajvilasi Mataji, you can ask this question at the end again. Yeah. Let me take the other questions now. That is a question from Lakshmi Madhavi Mataji. She's asking, I have microwave, but I don't know how to make in that. And cooker oven is good or microwave?
So Mataji, I don't recommend microwave to anybody. I don't have a microwave at my house, and I have seen like many Western devotees are coming here, and they have always appreciated the gas oven which is here. They also say that electric oven is not as good as gas oven. Gas cooking is best. That is what they
Better.
told me. I never had a microwave. I don't know. There are many YouTube videos which say you have cancer, this, that. I myself, I am a safety person. And I myself know that microwave has lot of hazardous radiation. Even if you're using for heating, please don't use it, is what I would recommend. It brings down your immunity too much. Please don't use microwave. Best is use a cooker.
So just at this point, I would also like to add, Mataji, in fact, some of the Maharaj, when they have come, when they see that somebody is cooking in a microwave, they don't even eat food in that house.
Okay.
They have, yeah. Some of the Maharajas I've seen, they have made very clear, if you're cooking in microwave or heating or doing anything, we don't even want to eat in that house. So, because basically it causes cancer, it's not good for health. So microwave doing is not good. Either you do the gas oven or go with the cooker oven. That is better.
Yeah, best.
Yeah. Now there is a question from please Priyanka Mataji, pizza we are going to do later, so your question will be taken later. Next. Okay, there is a question from Kanchana Varada Mataji. She is saying, where will be thermometer and dough scraper available? If we don't know oven temperature, then how to adjust the required temperature by measuring with thermometer?
Okay, so Mataji, these thermometers are very easy. You just place them inside the oven. And yeah, use gloves, of course. So you place them inside the oven, and and it's oven friendly. Nothing will happen. It will just show you the temperature, and then you take it out again, like that. So these are very easy ones. There are some complicated thermometers which you can insert in the bread itself. Some bakers, who are very professional, they have a rod type thermometer which is inserted in the bread itself, and then it will keep on showing the temperature. So there are many thermometers that you will get. I just recommend you just take a normal thermometer. It's called a oven thermometer, and you can place it in the oven. You know the temperature. All these items are available on Amazon. Pardon, Mataji?
Where do we get this thermometer?
Oven thermometer, Mataji. Generally, it is available in on Amazon, and there is one shop. I don't remember the name, but it's like Think Kitchen only, I think. So this Think Kitchen, they keep all items of baking, and many other items actually they keep making for pasta and so many other things they keep. So this Think Kitchen people, they have very nice oven thermometers. So I didn't get it. Dough scraper is also, yeah, it's very easily available, Mataji. Yeah, in home center also it is there. So that's easy one. What I recommend is don't take the steel one because I get hurt very often with that steel one because of the sharp edges. I recommend if you get a plastic one, take hold of that because steel ones, it has hurt me many times and I have been cutting my hands here and there.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to unmute everyone so that final round, if they have anything to ask. Okay, there is one question from Lakshmi. She's asking, can we use maida and wheat flour together for bread making?
Yeah, you can. So if you want to increase the gluten content, yes, you can do that. So many times, before serving some Maharaj, I will ask them that whether they will take maida or not. So if they are okay with maida, still I mix the wheat flour with maida. So that's always best because it gives the right gluten quantity, and the bread will be equally good. And then that is my favorite. I generally do like that, half multigrain flour and half of maida. That's normal bread baking. I do.
Thanks a lot, Pachi, for these questions. I'm going to unmute everyone so that you can ask questions. ચાલે છે.
Hare Krishna.
Hari bol. That's the problem. I don't know who is the chonke. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Mataji बताइए.
Hare Krishna. Chitrapriya Mataji. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು.
नहीं 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 करो, ऐसा नहीं करो, हाथ आ रहा है.
Okay. I'm going to Mataji, will you do one thing?
या म्यूट हो गया, माता जी ने सबको म्यूट कर दिया। या
Mataji, I will
Yeah.
unmute. There is a question from Umam Ushiti Mataji. I
Yes.
don't unmute everybody, but people they're just talking. One minute, let me go to Ushiti. She wants to ask a question. I think. Let me unmute her and let her ask the question. Mataji, how are you? Radhika. Yeah. Ask the question. Mataji, తెలుగులో మీకు చెప్తాను కొంచెం చెప్పండి. చూసారు కదా మాది గ్యాస్ అవన్నీ చేసినా కూడా అది ఫీల్గా ఉండట్లేదు ప్రాబ్లం లైక్ స్టవ్ అవన్నీ పప్పులకి మీరు చెప్పిందండి మీరు అలా చెప్పలేదు ప్రాబ్లం అది ఓకే మీరు చెప్పింది మీరు 220 degrees మీరు ఫస్ట్ టైం ప్రీ హీట్ చేసేయండి ఇప్పుడు మీ కుక్కర్ ఓవెన్ యూస్ చేయండి ఓకే Okay. I think Aarti, Brajavilasi Mataji, she wanted to ask. Brajavilasi Mataji,
What are you doing?
you want to ask the question, no Mataji, आप पूछिए अभी. Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji,
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, प्रणाम।
माताजी मेरे पास इलेक्ट्रिक कुकर ओवन है तो वो कर सकता है क्या आप उनका फोटो भेजिए माची वही बोल रही थी बुकलेट मैं उसका फोटो आपको सेंड कर दूंगी
हाँ यस माता जी, आप मेरे को सेंड करो उसका। अगर वो ओटीजी है तो मैंने ऑलरेडी ओटीजी के बारे में आपको बताया, बट अगर कुछ और है तो लेट मी सी, आई विल फाइंड आउट फ्रॉम अदर पीपल ऑल्सो हाउ दे आर यूजिंग इट। माय प्लेजर माता जी।
बहुत अच्छे से आपने बहुत सुंदर तरीके से बहुत छोटी छोटी बातों का ध्यान रखते हुए बहुत अच्छे से हमें समझाया तो बहुत
थैंक यू माता जी, हरी बोल।
अच्छी और भी प्रश्न है श्रीनगर निवासी पूछ रही है शुगर ब्राउन शुगर यूज करना चाहिए या व्हाइट शुगर यूज करना चाहिए
Mother ji, I always use the raw brown sugar. We don't bring white sugar at our home. Only if it is too much bulk cooking, I get it. Otherwise, I never get, at least for regular small things, we never get white sugar at home.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Mataji. There is one question from Lakshmi Mataji is asking, how do I know my baking soda is still fresh or better to use Eno? And Eno should be used in pouch or bottle is okay? बॉटल का इनो यूज करना चाहिए या पाउच का इनो यूज करना चाहिए ऐसे पूछ रहे हैं
Okay. So I understand two questions. So soda effective है कि नहीं है? What you do is you take plain water, उसमें नींबू डालो. नींबू डालने के बाद you squeeze a lemon and then you put little soda in it. And if it comes out immediately, pops up immediately, that means your soda is effective. So that is for the soda. Now for the Eno either you use pouch or bottle. I am using a Eno bottle because the supermarkets near me don't have the sachets. I am using a bottle but I take too much care that no moisture should go in. My spoons are always dry and I always take a lot of care of Eno. And anyways, like I am a Gujarati and we use too much of soda. So, but I'll tell you, the soda is not good for health. So it's once a while it is fine. This Eno, fruit salt, soda, and all is good. So these are things that we are learning. Baking and all is very good, but these are not healthy. That we have to always remember that soda, Eno is not healthy. Just bake a bread only once in a while. Don't make it a regular habit of having it.
जिससे बच्चों को पाव भाजी चाहिए इंस्टा बाहर से या ऐसा कुछ चाहिए तो हम घर में फ्रेश ब्रेड वगैरह बना के दे सकते हैं ना उसके लिए या हफ्ते में या 2 हफ्ते में एक बार अगर सैंडविचेस बनाना है तो घर में फ्रेश ब्रेड बना के उसका सैंडविच बना के दे दिया उस हिसाब से क्योंकि बच्चे तो उनको लगता है ना कुछ अलग खाने के लिए माता जी
So Mataji, next session I will take some easy breads, like some things like kids will also like, and it bakes very fast. Like you have pita breads. These breads are instant, like immediately तवे पे उसको बनाया and you are done like that. Then there is something called focaccia bread, which is my daughter's favorite. and it also looks very nice. So these are which don't require double proofing. In fact, जो भी महाराज यहाँ पे आते हैं, I have seen that Phocasia is the best one. In fact, there are 2-3 sannyasis who come, don't make Phocasia. They will ask, वो last time कुछ बनाया था, we need the same thing. So people who some Westerners sannyasis who know Phocasia, they will ask for it because it is very light on the stomach also, and it's very good in taste. We just love that taste. So we do next session.
ओके, फाइन फाइन। किसी को और कुछ प्रश्न है, या अगर कुछ प्रश्न है दे कैन पोस्ट इन द ग्रुप, क्योंकि दूसरा भी अभी क्लास है अभी 10 मिनट में। तो आई थिंक बहुत कुछ हमने आज बहुत कुछ बेसिक सीखा। मैं सबको अनम्यूट करती हूँ। आई होप ऑल पार्टिसिपेंट्स अनम्यूटेड। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. It is really a very nice session. I am very into the baking and still it is really nice.
Very good.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much. Very well. Thanks
So
Mataji.
much, Mataji.
How to make bread, the basic basic, yes. Very good. तो दयालक्ष्मी माता जी है, शी इज जॉइंड फ्रॉम इंडिया, तो बता रही है आपको, थैंक कर रही है।
और
जो बेसिक टिप्स है ना, फिर अभी इसको बेसिक रखकर हम आगे जा सकते हैं, बिकम बेसिक फॉर अस।
yeah, so it's like Arjuna prepares for the war, Mataji. So we have prepared now. We are all equipped and prepared. All thanks to you and Ramakrishna Prabhu for motivating me to do this.
So we meet next week.
Yeah, we meet next week.
Yeah. Any questions, further questions, they can still take in the, they can post in the group.
Video का link
Then
भेजना।
we can answer.
Hare Krishna, very helpful. Thanks Mataji, thanks for wonderful class. We always heard from Ramakrishna Prabhu and Sachi Mataji from about you, and today we got that opportunity to learn from you. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, if you recollect, remember yourself and Haripriya had come to a place in Abu Dhabi. She gave us bread. Remember the big one? That was made by her only. Remember? Yes, Mataji.
I was also there.
Yeah. So yeah.
That was Phocasia. That was Phocasia.
Okay.
So we do it next time. Yeah.
The basics, no problem. So we'll try, Mataji. Yes. Thanks a lot, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you everyone for listening so patiently. Thank you so much.
You can just have it like cake. You
Yeah.
don't need anything wrong with that. You can just eat it because it has everything in that.
Yes. Phocasia is very easy.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna.